Hey everyone, I think I've come to terms enough with this now to release this video. This is the journey of my son's Southbound Sendoff.
Oh my goodness.
Damn, Buc-ee's! Buc-ee's! Can you tell I was excited about Buc-ee's? At first, I was going to make this two separate videos, one showing us venturing down to the college for the first time and our day at the Bulldog Ready event, which was basically freshman orientation. We didn't get enough footage that day because it ended up being a long day to hurry up and wait on several things. He took a school ID photo, met his advisor, met some other staff like patrol officers, counselors, etc. And he also had a chance to meet the group of kids that he was chatting with upon receiving their acceptances into the university. But we ran into some issues at our last order of business, which was financial aid. I'm not going to discuss all of that, but just know he's good and he's currently taking his classes. Now, before we left for our second trip to the school, which was the move-in trip, I had to send my baby off right. I had a Southbound Sendoff themed cookout, which is where the title for the video came from. When I tell you all, it was a beautiful day. So many people came out to love on my son and send him off with love and support. We ate real good too. I'm not even going to tell you about all the food I had. I'm talking ribs, burgers, grilled barbecue, and fried chicken, smoked pork. Y'all, I really did it up for my baby. I cooked the majority of everything. Shout out to my family because y'all, we did that. I wanted to shower him with love and allow everyone to give their hugs and well wishes before he left. It was important for me to show him how loved, supported, and covered he is. The fun didn't end with the cookout. I set up a little water war for anyone who wanted to participate. Some of his friends had left and come back for the water war. I had over 400 water balloons, 100 water grenades, and provided about 4 or 5 water guns for those who really needed one. It was a good time, and them kids really enjoyed themselves. They relit the grill after working up another appetite from their water war. I woke up to kids everywhere asleep in my house the next day. Yes, I did allow them to stay, even the girls. There were about 4 girls that stayed. They all slept in the guest bedroom. I made it clear I was not playing when it came to staying at my house and the sleeping arrangements. Fast forward 2 days later, and it's time to hit the road. Guess who's in the driveway waiting to see my baby off? His friends. They had gotten there at 6 a.m., the time that we were supposed to leave, just to help pack the cars, get their hugs, affirm my son, and say their see you soons. It truly warmed my heart to see that. Not many friends are going to show up for you like that. After that, we, my mom, dad, son, and myself were on our way. Now, the ride down was rough, but divinely orchestrated. My son caught a flat tire basically right at the Virginia-North Carolina border. I have to tell you that story in depth in another video to explain the details of how it was divinely orchestrated. Just know that God placed an obedient child of his in our path, and that man poured into my son. So much so that my mom said my son talked about the man and what he said to him almost the remainder of the trip to South Carolina. Speaking of mishaps, on the way to South Carolina, not even 10 minutes away from our hotel, and I had to pull over and let my dad drive. My contacts had irritated my eyes so bad that I could no longer see. They hurt so bad, and this would plague me the entire trip, but I didn't let it stop the show. It wasn't about me. My mom, son, and I drove around the area just to show my mom around and get more of a feel of what's around the area. That's how we finally found the Walmart and other stuff. The next day was move-in day, as you can see. Now, that morning, I had to go to the store to get some eye drops, medicated eye drops for my eyes because I could barely keep them open. They were bloodshot red when I woke up, and the sensitivity to light was crazy. And I wasn't going to let that damper my son's move-in day. So I returned to the hotel from the store to pick up my parents and my son so that we can go to the store, and I got a phone call from his roommate's mom. We had been in touch with each other since about June when they found out their rooming assignments, which brings me to her phone call. They were at the school ready to move in, and there were 2 other boys in our son's room assignments. Y'all, they changed our son's assignments literally overnight and sent them a generic email. They didn't even know the email was for them. It was that generic of an email. So we had to take care of some other business before we were set to focus on the housing situation. While we were handling things with student accounts, his roommate's mom called back and told me the boys' dorm was changed and where we needed to go and what we needed to do once we left student affairs. Once leaving student affairs, we followed the directions given by his roommate's mother. We hit the gym to get his ID, room key, and find out his new room assignment. There were so many kids whose room assignment was changed, like my son, or some found themselves not having a room assignment at all. It was a lot, and I wish the school had done a better job of being organized and things, but alas, it was time to move in. We had so much stuff to unload that I didn't even think about setting up my camera to record anything. When I get into the mode, you guys know I'm all about business, so y'all not gonna see carrying boxes or stuff like that to the third floor. Only Lord knows why they had to be on the third floor. Thank God for my dad and my son's roommate's dad. They brought up the TVs, both refrigerators, and all of the heavy stuff. They were definitely appreciated. We got all of their stuff in, organized the way they wanted to, and I made my son's bed the top bunk. Whew. And it was really high up there. I was scared to climb down. We finished moving him in, and then we went to grab some food and his work letter. After lunch, we went back on campus and made sure he got his car permit, did some shopping at the bookstore, and then made sure that there were literally nothing else for him to worry about other than showing up to class for his first day. Once we made sure that everything was checked off the list, it was time to say our goodbyes and get back on the road to head north. My original plan was to come home the day after moving him in, but because my mom had mandatory work training, we had to leave the same day. All in all, it was a great and successful send-off for my boy. He is nicely settled in, and it's almost a month since classes has started. He's really enjoying his college life experience, and I'm missing him even more. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Maybe next move-in, things will be a lot less stressful and hectic, and I'll be able to catch some actual footage of us moving. Until then, I'll see you guys the next video. Bye!